Let me tell you something. The woke left are not only dangerous, but they are terrorists and they are a threat to Western civilization. And nothing can convince me otherwise. Now, I'm not talking about people who are left on the political spectrum, right? I'm not talking about center left. I'm not talking about, normal individuals. I'm talking about those crazy radicals who are so far left that they're literally off the charts. The people who are just so extreme in their views, the people who think that communism is a good thing or Marxism, those people, the ones who believe they're Antifa and they talk about resistance and, all that like weird communist Marxist nonsense. I'm convinced that in order to believe that kind of propaganda, you have to be insane. And if you're insane, then that means you are a bigger threat to society because insane people are the ones who go out and commit violent acts. Am I wrong? Now, don't get me wrong. The fact that I'm saying they're insane, that doesn't excuse them, right? Their insanity does not limit their culpability. But what I'm telling you is that these people, by virtue of being insane, they are a threat to Western civilization. And let me explain why. Do you know why the 1979 Islamic coup d'etat that turned my birth country of Iran into a 7th century Islamic hellhole governed by Sharia law was successful? Do you know why? It wasn't just the Islamists. In fact, it was the communists. It was the woke left that gathered behind the jihadis, supported them. They were even more violent than the radical Islamic jihadis. They were the ones who decided to join up with the Muslim Nazi terrorists because they were aligned in their anti-imperialist ideology. And so when the communists and the Marxists and the Antifa and whatever woke progressive left, when they saw that there's an opportunity to overthrow the Shah of Iran, which, by the way, the country was a constitutional monarchy, by the way, it was a democracy, right? But that wasn't good enough for them. That wasn't good enough for the woke left, for the communists, the Marxists. They hated our Western civilized country so much that they were willing to back a brutal Islamic Shia mullah. And they are the reason why the jihadis were successful. Yeah, did you know that? When we Iranians talk about the unholy alliance of the red and the black, red being Marxism, communism, woke leftism, black being Islamism, we're not exaggerating. Here's what the unholy alliance of the red and black looks like. Do you see that? How insane is this picture? It's literally a bunch of communists, communists back in like, I don't know, the late 1970s, early 1980s. They're all wearing red veils. Even the jihadi mullah is wearing a red veil and they're all praying. And then you can see all the communist imagery behind them. Do you see how insane this looks? And no, this is not AI. This is real. This is real. I have more. Look at them. A bunch of idiotic, insane, and yet extremely dangerous communists who were backing the Muslim jihadis to overthrow the Shah of Iran and turn Iran into a 7th century Islamic hellhole governed by Sharia law. Look at them. They're not even hiding the fact They're walking around with scythes or whatever, like a bunch of insane lunatics that they are. Look, more leftists. More leftists. Does this remind you of anything? Does their behavior remind you of anything? Look at all the current attacks in the United States. The attempted assassination on President Trump was from some insane leftist lunatic. Charlie Kirk's assassination, another insane leftist lunatic. All of them acts of domestic terrorism. What's happening in the United States right now is no different than what was happening in Iran during the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Because this photo here, these are not the Muslim Nazis. These are the woke radical left. Yeah, these are the communists, the Marxists, the progressives, whatever. This is who they are. This is who they are. Look at this. Look at this. You see these two girls? Again, these girls considered themselves to be progressive left. They were the progressive left. Look at them driving around, putting up the victory sign, holding a photo of Khomeini or Khabar Magash, whatever, Khomeini, the Muslim pedophile founder of the Islamic regime, a disgusting, vile individual. These two idiotic young women back in 1979 are holding the image of this disgusting demon pedophile mullah, and they're happy about it. Oh, and guess what? Guess what happened to them? One of them was executed by the Muslim jihadis, and the other one had to escape and seek refuge in some country in Europe. I don't know, Sweden or Switzerland or wherever. Yeah. So not only are the woke radical left dangerous, not only are they terrorists, but they're also the useful idiots of the Muslim Nazis. Yeah. They're the reason that the 1979 Islamic coup d'etat was successful. And now they're becoming a problem again. In the United States, in Canada, and in Europe. Yeah, in Europe. Because today, an insane, deranged leftist freak decided to attack His Royal Highness King Reza Pahlavi. It's not enough that the woke, progressive, radical left, the communists, the socialists, the Marxists, the terrorists, it's not enough for them that they destroyed Iran back in 1979. Now they're attacking us again. They're attacking us because they don't want us to be free, because they're insane. They're terrorists. Just today, they attacked our leader, His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi. He is the hope of 80 million Iranians. He is going to free Iran and transition Iran from a brutal Islamic dictatorship to a functioning secular democratic society. And yet the leftists are attacking him like the deranged, psychotic terrorists that they are. Watch this. That guy.
That's a
You see that? Unbelievable. Of course, our Shah is unfazed because, he is a leader. He's unfazed. But look at this. Look at this weird freak. Look, right there. Right there, you can see him. This backpack. And like a puffer jacket and just comes up. Look at it. He's holding something in his hand. And he just like, what is that? What a psycho. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The woke left are attacking the man that 3 months ago on January 8 and 9, over 45,000 innocent unarmed Iranians were slaughtered on January 8 and 9. Slaughtered because they were peacefully protesting, chanting his name, chanting the name of Reza Pahlavi. They were saying Javid Shah, which means long live the king. They were saying In akharin nabarde Pahlavi barmigarde, which means this is a final battle, Pahlavi will return. That's what Iranians were saying and are still saying. And because Iranians want freedom, in 2 days alone, the brutal Islamic dictatorship slaughtered over 45,000 innocent Iranians. And even more since then. The numbers are much higher. By the way, the internet has been shut down for 55 days because the Islamic regime does not want the world to know what Iranians think about the Islamic regime. They're trying to silence the voice of Iranians. And these woke, radical leftists, right? Instead of attacking the Islamic regime, instead of calling out the crimes against humanity, instead of raising awareness about the fact that there's no internet, instead, they are attacking the hope of 80 million Iranian people. This attack by the woke, deranged left, this isn't just an attack on King Reza Pahlavi. This is an attack on the over 45,000 innocent Iranians who've lost their lives in the last 3 months alone. This is an attack on every single Iranian who has lost their life at the hands of the terrorist Islamic dictatorship. This is an attack on 80 million Iranians, and we will not remain silent. There's a reason that we Iranians chant Nang bar sefasid Mullah Chapi Mujahid, which means down with the three corrupt mullahs, leftists, and the MEK. The woke, radical, leftist terrorists may have destroyed Iran back in 1979, but we're not going to let them get away with it this time. After 48 years of an Islamic hellhole, we are done. We are through. And attacking our leader, attacking the crown prince, the Shah of Iran, attacking the leader of our Lion and Sun revolution, you guys just crossed the line. You guys crossed the line.